Hello, pain stream people. I already did a video tonight. But I recently had someone share something with me, share a poem with me that I wanted to share with you. I hate that glare on my face, but I'm gonna have to read off my iPad, so it'll have to come back. But for now, no glare. So my wedding was simply phenomenal. It was the fairy tale wedding of my dreams. I've even shown perfect strangers my wedding album. And not perfect strangers, I mean friends of friends who didn't know anything about me or anything that happened. And they said, "This looks like a fairy tale." I said, "Funny thing, funny you say that, because it was." But it was the wedding of my dreams. We had it at the place that I actually wanted to have it when I was in high school. And that was not intentional. That was just a coincidence. And I didn't even remember until after we booked it. And I said, "Oh, wait a second. This is..." What the heck, man? I notice these little things and it bothers me. And I'm sorry. It's going to bother you now that I have to fix it. But I have no choice. I just moved the problem from one place to another. Anyway, yeah, so I didn't realize that until after we actually booked it, and I realized, whoa, wait a second, this is what I always thought it would be. And so it's funny what you manifest and not even know it. I recently manifested a person. I had no idea I was doing it. Very glad I did, though. So the reason I bring up my wedding is not to my wedding. It's to, one thing I didn't mention about my whole marriage debacle crisis thing is that the wedding was phenomenal. It really was. And a lot of people told me that, and they could be lying just because, they were trying to make me feel good. But I don't think so. I got a lot of feedback about everything. And, this was the best wedding I've ever been to. Everything is so perfect. Yeah, I know it was. I was out of work and hyperthyroid and didn't know it. And so obsessively OCD-like, on hyperdrive, I did everything. I made all the table settings. I made a lot of the everything. I had beautiful flowers, thanks to my mother. But a lot of the decorations for the table, I made, ridiculous programs. I made the entire set list for the DJ. He was so pissed. I made the bouquets for the little flower girls. I made all the favors for people to take home. And all the favors were personalized things that I had made. Look, I loved it. But everyone else had a really good time too. And it was really fun. And we laughed. Oh my God. My ex-husband and I did a 2-minute choreographed dance. It was phenomenal. I don't have a video of it. I don't know why the photographer said he lost it. So I'll never have that, unfortunately, but it was wonderful. And I have some pictures of it, but it doesn't do it justice. So everything was phenomenal. And I think one of the reasons that we had it wasn't just for me, but was because sorry, I keep looking at my neck. My light is making this angle, I'm hoping is making my neck look hyperthyroid, look like my thyroid's bulging, but I don't think it is. I'll have to check it when I get off the video. Anyway, everyone else had fun. And when I thought back to it, I thought, wow, because there were so many crises after that, not just mine, but other people in the family. Soon after my wedding, not only did my marriage end, but another close family member's marriage ended. Two relatives who were at the wedding, and this is just my side. I don't even know what happened on his side. But two family members went to prison, and one close family member died. So, if I think of any other tragedies, I'll let you know, but I mean, that's quite enough. So, when I thought back to the wedding, I thought, and I looked at all the pictures, I was like, wow, everyone's so happy. This was so much fun. It was so much fun. And, the beautiful thing about it was that everyone, it was kind of, we were so naive then, right? We did just have a lot of fun. And it was the last time that we were all together. Sorry, I didn't anticipate getting emotional, because I'm thinking mostly about my cousin who passed away, but it was the last time we were all together and had a good time, not a care in the world. Had no idea what was coming up. So if it was just for that, then I'm glad. I'm happy for it. Look how happy I am. But anyway, that being said, one of the people who was affected by one of these other tragedies, saw the plaques that I had given to my nieces. The plaques with that poem about the street and falling in the hole. I made those last year for Christmas for them. Takes a little bit of time. Once I got the hang of, I think it's Photoshop again. And like Adobe Photoshop. And then you make a picture out of it and then put it on a plaque in Shutterfly. It's really easy, once you get the hang of it. So, so they saw my plaques, and this person who went through a significant tragedy, and it was one of the people, well, I'll just say they went through a significant tragedy after the wedding and saw the plaques and said, I would like to do that for someone else. So, here it is. I did something for my nieces, and then someone else saw that. I mean, my nieces appreciate it, and I hope they carry that whole message through their lives, because it affected me and it impacted me, and I've lived it, and I know it's kind of really good advice, although it's easy to say in hindsight. Not always easy to see the holes, even when you see the holes in the sidewalk. But they saw the plaque and they said, oh, I would like to make that for someone else. Someone who saw the crisis that I was going through and helped to lift me out of it. And, granted, it's been 10 years now, and sometimes it takes you a long time to get out of those holes. But he asked me to make one of those plaques. And the poem that he asked me to add to the plaques is beautiful, and I wanted to share it with you. And also just the message: you can't save every starfish, but you can save one. And to that one, you mean everything. You mean the world. Am I going to read this like this? Ugh. Capricorns are not supposed to be like this. This is annoying. This is so annoying. Ugh. Okay. If by Rudyard Kipling, 1865 to 1936. I'm going to have to think of baseball while I read this. Anyway. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies. Or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good or talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. I'm sorry, I didn't read the whole thing before I just read the beginning. And it just really affects me because I know this means a lot to this person. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. Wow, I mean, this is crazy. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. We're almost done. Why do I want to tell you this? I need to... let's get this over with. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. I don't know for sure, but I'm gonna bet that this person shared that poem with the person who asked me to make the plaque. And his father passed away, and his father was such a beautiful soul. So, I encourage you to go read that, because I am not going to read nor talk about it again. All right? If by, I'm going to make sure I say his name right. If by Rudyard Kipling, 1865 to 1936. Ooh, peace out.